Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Dysfunctional's World. Coming to you live and direct with another conversation with Anonymous. So, Anonymous, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. Today we're going to talk about cheating, the ramification. Why do you think people cheat? And would you stay with someone that cheated? So where would you like to start?
Okay. Wherever you want to start, I'm good.
Okay. What do you think the ramifications of cheating are?
I mean, there's a lot of ramifications of cheating. Number one is betrayed trust. It's broken relationship. There's a lot of ramifications of cheating.
Can they be fixed?
There's a lot of things that come. That depends. It depends on the individuals, and it depends on most people when they've been hurt or they've been betrayed or whatever the case may be. When you ask them, like, what can be done or what can I do to fix this, they don't know. So first of all, the person that was cheated on has to kind of be a well-adjusted person and to be able to kind of, emotionally intelligent and kind of know what it is that they're looking to achieve or what it is or how they're looking to move forward. And sometimes that's hard to do right after a transgression has happened, right?
Okay. So do you think, kind of what you just said, but do you think people stay or try to work it out because they feel like they can't do better?
No, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think most people, if you're saying it's because you generally feel like there's something there, but in order to stay, like, you have to know how that person can correct what they've done, because otherwise you're going to have somebody that's going to be bitter. There's going to be resentment. There's going to be, oh, when you go somewhere, what are you doing? Are you cheating?
Right.
Oh, where are you going? Are you cheating? You know what I mean? Like, right. Forgiveness, in order to truly, truly forgive, you have to know the road in which that person needs to take to regain your trust. And that's where I think the problem comes in at, because if you're going to be holding something over someone's head, or you're not in the right place. You have to be well adjusted. You have to be emotionally in tune. You have to understand what's happening. You have to really be willing to work through it. It's a lot of facets to that. I don't think it's about, oh, well, you don't think you can do better.
Why do you think people cheat?
I think there's a lot of different reasons why people cheat. I mean, I think men and women are different.
Okay.
When it comes to cheating, if you want me to be honest.
Why do women cheat?
Well, first of all, it depends on the woman. Like, I can just say, like, in my own experience with my own friends and family members and different things, usually it's because there's been something missing.
Something missing?
Like if they're in commitment.
Physically or?
Like it could be physically, it could be emotionally, it could be a lot of things.
So if a woman's missing something, does that mean that she's necessarily easy prey for another man? I mean...
I think... I just think in general, like, if there's stuff that you're missing or stuff that you feel like the relationship is lacking or stuff that you need in order for the relationship to develop and grow, number one, you need to be able to say that, right? So you need to be able to use your words.
Right.
And you need to be able to communicate that, right?
Correct.
And if you're in a relationship where you're communicating, hey, these are my needs, these are my wants, whatever, and a person or the individual isn't meeting those needs, well, then you need to look at why you're still there. and if that's the best place for you to be.
I mean,
and is it a situation where you're being promised or you're being told, or where you're being given, where it's like a carrot, and sometimes they dangle like a carrot in front of you and it'll get better to a certain extent and then it keeps reverting back? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different scenarios. It depends on what the scenario is.
I never looked at it like that. It depends on what the carrot.
It depends on, right. So, like, a lot of times if somebody cheats or whatever, but it's just, oh, well, I just did this, you know, I just stepped out. It was just this one time or whatever. And you don't think your mate's going to find out. And then they find out. And then it's like, well, oh, I'm going to do better. Or I'm going to make it better. Or I'm going to this. Or I'm going to that. Like, they dangle that carrot.
Okay.
That, like, hope. That hope of, okay, we can fix this. We can repair this. But in order for something to be fixed or be repaired, you have to understand what you're fixing and what you're repairing.
Right.
You have to know what you want. You have to know how you want to be healed. Like, a person can come to you and say, how do we fix this? But if you yourself don't know, or you yourself don't understand, how can you tell somebody else? You can't.
Okay.
Right?
You're right. I have this saying that I always say when it comes to cheating. I say, your spouse, man or woman, could be great all the time, but that one time that they're not good and someone else is great for a day, there goes that opportunity. There goes that open window. Oh man, I might be in the wrong boat. Or, oh man, that grass might be greener. Or, oh man.
That's the 80-20 rule.
That's the 80-20 rule?
Mm-hmm.
It's 80% good, 20% bad?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel all relationships are 80-20, or? I mean, because a lot of people feel like
nobody's perfect,
right? But
nobody's perfect, right? Go ahead.
A lot of people feel like cheating is a weakness.
It is.
But I know some people that didn't cheated. Maybe their spouse found out, or maybe they, indirectly, but they never seen it with their own two eyes. And they're still married to this day, 40, 50 years long. You know what I'm saying? So, like, is it safe to say that
a lot of people say if it's not in their face, then it didn't happen.
Okay.
I mean, me personally, like, I've experienced somebody cheating on me before in multiple facets of my life. So, I mean, in a lot of respects. So, even when I felt like I've had everything together, like a good mother, a good wife, this and this and that, like all of these different facets of my life, or even when I was a girlfriend and, good job, this and that, banging body, all of these different things, and still got cheated on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, still. So even if you think like you got it all figured out, you think,
so would you say
I'm
that
good.
Would you say that the person that's being cheated on, it hurts their morale, their pride, well, naturally their pride, but their morale of how they see themselves?
Sometimes.
Okay. So
especially like a lot of times when the person that they've stepped out on ain't necessarily an upgrade.
Okay. Now what does that matter? So, like, would you feel better if a man cheated on you with somebody that you felt was physically or whatever better than you? Because it can only be physically. It's gotta make
sense. Like, for me, I'm a real logical person, right?
Okay. So
if you have all of these different things at home, right? Like, we communicate, there's good sex, you feel like all of your needs at home are being met, right?
Right.
Then the natural instinct of the person, and maybe it's not you now, but I guarantee at some point in your life it probably has been, is what is this person doing that I'm not doing? What is it? And where does this come from and why? Because again, I'm regularly checking in with you. We may have our days where we're not happy with each other every single day,
Right.
but the majority of the days we're happy together. So then, if you're cheating and you're being unfaithful, then what's causing this? Where's this coming from?
Well, speaking from a man's point of view, men cheat, like you said. I mean, like women, they cheat for multiple reasons. The most common reasons I've come up with as a man is opportunity, because it's been said that most men don't have sex like that because they don't have someone to have sex with. So when an opportunity arises, most men jump at the opportunity because it's someone new, not because they want to leave the one they with or lose the one they with, just because the opportunity and someone new. Sometimes men cheat because that's in their DNA. Not really like that, but like say that they're a ladies' man, right? So they get lots of women attention. So they cheat for the general fact just because they can. Like, she's there, I'm here, let's do it. It has no more market value than that. He doesn't value the person he's with, neither the person that he's about to get with. Men also cheat because of lust and fantasy. If it's a woman that you look at or deem to be so out of reach, and then you get the chance to reach it, they take that chance. They cheat for get back. I guess it could be because something missing or something that they need is not being met. And
I mean, men just in general, you guys are very physical people, right?
Right.
So very visual. What you can see, what you can touch, what is in your hand, what you can hold. I mean,
right.
Where I think, I don't know, just me and like my friends, and again, this doesn't apply to all women, because there are some women where they're promiscuous and they go out, they want to fuck. There's women that are like that. I know people firsthand that are like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I also know the ones where sometimes there's someone who you're talking to who you may be friends with, male, that just, they understand, they get it. Or at least they fake like they get it.
No, they probably really get it.
There's also been, I have a friend where she's like executive level, and like people openly know, like, she's married, happily married, whatever the case may be, but where she's had subordinates come after her. And and I guess maybe that's like the boss mentality, where men have just went after her knowing that she's openly married. So, I mean, there's a lot of scenarios under which people do weird, they just, they do the most. I just think cheating, I think number one, like, the lying about it. Once a person knows, you might as well come clean. You might as well own your shit. Because the lie or whatever,
right,
that's going to be what determines how you guys move forward or what the next step is or whatever, right? Like, so
correct.
Once it's out there, it's out there. I always tell me it's not the lie that bothers me, it's the fact that you insulted my intelligence with the lie.
Okay.
Like a lot of times with women, when you really, and me personally, I feel like I take the time to know my partner. So when things are different or when something's not right. Like, women's intuition is a motherfucker. It's a thing. People might not think it is.
Is it always correct?
But it's a thing. I'm not gonna say it's always correct, but mine's never led me astray. And it doesn't mean I'm not gonna be the one. I knew it. I may not know what it is specifically,
right?
But I know that it's something.
Okay, now when you say that, does that only apply to cheating, or does it apply when the other person's unhappy, period?
I think if you're an emotionally intelligent person and you read the room, you should know if a person is just unhappy, period, or if there's something wrong, or if they feel a certain way about something. I think that's part of the thing, is like a lot of people somewhere, somehow, it's gotten uncool to like to have emotions and have feelings and feel a certain way about shit.
Right.
So I think if you're telling like how you actually feel, you're being honest, you're being stripped down, you're being like, look, this is what it is. And a person can either choose to fucking deal with it or not. But
right.
Like that's you know what I mean? That's what needs to happen. Like, I mean, again, like I've been where I've had experiences with people and it was something just in my gut, like a nagging feeling. Like, the best way that I can probably describe it is it'll kind of like be in the back of your mind, but then it grows and it grows and it grows.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Sometimes for me, it's like a pit in your stomach kind of feeling. Like, this ain't right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's, you know, that feeling, like you just shouldn't ignore it. That doesn't mean, and that doesn't mean like you need to overreact to it, but I definitely think like if it's something giving you pause or whatever, that's what you're in a relationship for, is to build each other up, and to if there's feelings of uncertainty, then you know what, let's talk about that.
Right.
Now, it shouldn't be no shit where you're doing it every day. You know what I mean? Or where it's a constant thing. If everything in the relationship is the way it's supposed to be, but you know, if there's transgressions, you know, you have to decide how you want to move forward in a transgression, because you know, there may be betrayal, there may be embarrassment, there may be a lot of stuff that comes with a transgression.
That's the one that I wanted to touch on. Why do a lot of women get, or say, I'm not even gonna say most or whatever, but I've heard women collectively say, why you out here making me look stupid in these streets? Or why you trying to make a fool out of me? Like, why did that resonate so high when, like, what is that? Like, I know a man ego be like, his ego be on like 10. Like, she cheated on me, man. That's mine. This is another dude. I gotta fight him. I gotta, whatever. But women are quick to say, why you out in these streets making me look some kind of way?
Because if you've been dedicated and loyal, and you're like, my man,
right?
You know, and you like, thank you to my man and all that other nonsense, right? And you're promoting this dude like my man, and then he goes and he steps out. That's what it looks like. You're gonna feel like you've been betrayed. You're gonna feel like you've been made to look stupid, because this person that you're fighting for, or this person that you're loving hard, or whatever the case may be, is out here and they're making you look stupid.
Okay. Would you always leave if someone cheated on you? Like, what's
I'm gonna say no.
Like, where does it become a deal breaker?
Because I've experienced it. I stayed with somebody that cheated on me.
So I'm saying, where does it become a deal breaker?
Honestly, that's up to the individual. Everybody is different. That's hard to say, because everybody's not built the same.
No, you. I'm asking you. Like, at what point does it become? That's it. Is it the second time or the third time, or?
I don't think there's a number associated with it.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's more or less like if what you're doing starts to affect my child, or it affects the quality of life that we have.
Okay.
Or if it's just where I can't forgive it. Like, if I can't truly forgive that transgression and move past it, just like I don't want nobody using things, my life or my transgressions against me.
Right.
I don't want to do that to anybody else. I don't want to demonize anybody. And if I can't let go of what's happened, or I don't know the best way to move forward, then maybe I need to gather my things and I need to go in the corner. I need to lick my wounds. I need to heal, and I need to work through that in my mind. And maybe we don't need to do those things together. It's not fair to forgive somebody and then, like, what's that saying? You forgive, but you don't forget.
Right.
But if you're going to be petty with it, because a lot of people are petty Pendergrass and petty LaBelle, and they don't know how to move past it. Like, if you forgive, that's just what it is. It's forgiveness. It doesn't mean that you're being foolish, but it's forgiveness. I mean, if you feel like every time that person steps out the door, you need to check the phone, do this, do that. You got to go behind. And I'm telling this from experience because I've lived it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where somebody has been with somebody that cheated, got with me, and then everything I did, it was,
under the magnifying
if you're away
glass.
from home, you're under the magnifying glass. Like at night, where I have to sit on video chat and I have to sleep with the lights on so they can see what's going on in the house.
That's crazy.
You know, if I go to sleep and my phone is there, I might wake up and you're going through my phone, and I'm not like just text messages and phone calls. You're going through emails. And I mean, it's not just looking, it's like clicking on a phone number, hitting the thing, seeing how many days or how many times this number is called, and why doesn't this number have a name and a contact with it? Going through emails, going through email history, search histories on phone. Like, see, shit like that, that's too much like a job.
That sounds insane.
Like it, huh?
That sounds insane. That sounds like living with insanity.
Yeah. A what?
That sounds like living with insanity. Like, I guess I would say like jail.
I don't know if it's even living with insanity, but it's like definitely like living with the ops. You feel like you live with the opposition.
Right.
And I mean, when a person is like that, or where a person is always checking up behind you, can you really be 100% your genuine self? You know what I mean? Because then that creates a whole nother problem. Like, you feel like do you genuinely connect with somebody that treats you like that? Probably not.
So then when you get with a person like that, what motivates you to stay with that person?
It depends. Everybody's circumstances are different.
So circumstances depend on how much bullshit.
I mean, it depends. I mean, yeah, a lot of times it does. Circumstances do depend on how much bullshit you're going to put up with.
Okay.
I mean, in my circumstance was I moved across country. I was in an unfamiliar place. And then shortly after coming to the unfamiliar place, I was pregnant. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So there was that. And then we lost a child. And then we went through that. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody's ever lost a child, then you go through that. And I mean,
right.
We're talking about, we go through a full-term pregnancy and then delivery, and the child doesn't make it through delivery.
Right.
So, I mean, there's stuff that happens, and there's it's all good. There's emotions and all kinds of things that are associated with that too. And then, you know, when you go through trauma, that trauma bonding and all that good stuff, you know what I mean? Then it's, everything's great. And then, you know, I had another child, you know what I mean? I got pregnant again. And so it just kind of depends on like what the circumstances are. I consider myself to be a very intelligent person, but what changed the situation for me was I became a mother. When I became a mother, I wanted to give my children the same chance that I had, and I grew up. I didn't grow up in a broken home. I grew up in a home with both my mother and my father actively present in the home.
Yeah, I guess that plays a part. Yeah.
And so for me, I wanted to be able to give my children a chance at that. At least if I'm going to walk away, I'm going to say, you know what? I've given this everything that I can give this situation. I did everything that was in my power to do. And we couldn't make it work.
Okay.
But it's not going to be, oh no, well, my mama was, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, my mom tried.
Right. So, I guess to close out, we discussed why people cheat. We discussed the ramifications. We discussed if you would stay. You say you did. Is there life after a broken relationship?
I'm still figuring that out.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to say yes, but I mean, what that looks like, or how it, you know what I mean? I'm still figuring that out.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host. That's Anonymous. Stay tuned for the next conversation and leave a comment, like, subscribe. If you feeling the content, make it go somewhere. Hit the share, copy button, share, and expand the algorithm. With that being said, y'all have a wonderful day. Good night.